Welcome to SVG-TV News for Friday, August 2nd, 2019. I am Rochelle Batiste with the details. St. Vincent and the Grenadines now has its first female Governor General. Her Excellency Susan Duggan took the oath of office at a ceremony on Emancipation Day, Thursday, August 1st at Government House. The new Governor General gave the commitment to serve all Vincentians with integrity. Larissa Pugsley Kidd tells us more in this report.
Susan Duggan, do swear that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to St.
Susan Duggan taking the oath of office administered by Justice Brian Cottle at Government House, witnessed by government officials and family members. In her first address as Governor General, Duggan says she is honored to be entrusted the highest post in the country. Being a public servant for more than 30 years, Duggan said she will perform her duties with integrity and will be of service to all Vincentians.
I thank you, Honorable Prime Minister, for your warm words and for giving me the honor of becoming the first female Governor General of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. I look forward to working with the government, all members of Parliament, and our national institutions in service to the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Duggan thanked outgoing Governor General Sir Frederick Ballantyne and her family members and asked for their support as she assumed the new post. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves says he is confident Duggan will be an excellent Governor General. Duggan, a former principal of the Girls High School and former Chief Education Officer and Cabinet Secretary, was credited by the Prime Minister for piloting SVG's education revolution. PM Gonsalves said he is sure Duggan will continue the excellent work of Sir Frederick Ballantyne.
I have absolutely no doubt that the responsibility is laid out in the Constitution, that our Governor General would fulfill those responsibilities with the highest degree of commitment, professionalism, and love for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. But she will do more than that. She will be an active Governor General in a number of other areas, in the way Sir Frederick has been.
Also speaking at the swearing-in ceremony, outgoing Governor General Sir Frederick Ballantyne endorsed the new Governor General and said that she has served in this capacity before and is well prepared for the job. Sir Frederick thanked the people of SVG for their support for the 16 years that he has served as Governor General and asked that they keep him in prayers.
As I exit the stage, I must say that it has been a great journey, bolstered by the country and the people who I love dearly, and all Vincentians who supported me. I ask that you continue to pray for me and my family.
The outgoing Governor General was also commended for his service and contribution to nation building, including bringing the World Pediatric Project WPP to SVG, which was his brainchild. Following the swearing-in ceremony, the Governor General was greeted by a guard of honor in the yard of the Government House, followed by the inspection of troops and a 21-gun salute. Reporting for SVG-TV News, Larissa Pugsley Kidd.
On hand to witness the swearing-in ceremony of the new Governor General was her immediate family, including her husband and 3 children. Hugh Duggan said he is proud of his wife and fully supports her endeavors.
The occasion itself, I'm very humbled by what has happened. I know my wife, she's made a tremendous contribution to the development of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. She has, of course, as you would know, there's a lot more spotlight on the family as such. There are occasions when the family would be in the spotlight. Something that I would say we're not completely used to. Well, let's put it this way. As far as the public domain is concerned, she has the dominant view. But in the home, of course, that's a different situation. Right? And the man of the home. Thanks a lot.
The Governor General's 3 children said their mother is the backbone of the family and a great motivator in pursuit of higher education and their respective careers. The eldest of the 3 serves as project officer at the Ministry of Agriculture, the second is a student medical doctor, and the third a lawyer.
For now, I'm very proud of her, very happy that she's here. She's worked very hard to come to this point, but I'm very humbled by the whole situation as well, by the whole scene that's been put on for her. She herself is not too keen on this, on the whole hoopla. She'll make sure that everything remains the same, and we have been raised in such a way that we are, no matter what happens to us, our family remains number one, and our focus is our family and the upkeep and development of our family. Of course, my mother in particular, my father is very supportive, but my mother is the driving force behind all 3 of us getting to where we are now. She is a major push, and she's been my rock. I could say that without a doubt. She's been that support, in fact, in my life, that pillar in my life to get me where I am right now. Without her, I would not be here.
I'm the middle child, second one. Yeah.
Okay. So what is your profession?
Well, currently I'm in the medical field. I'm still doing my licensing exams to get into the U.S. system. She's been the inspiration. She's been like that driving force, man. You know, when I was younger, I didn't really know where I wanted to should give me the avenues to examine, to see which area I want to get into. I think medicine was the one that I really had a passion for, and she said whatever I want to do, that she would have been supportive of me. We've always been supportive of each other, so I don't think it's going to be the same as usual. We've always been supportive of each other, so it's not going to change. I'm still going to be very supportive of mother. If there's anything extra that she needs, I'm definitely going to be there to help her along the way.
Well, I can't express how proud I am of her to be the daughter of the first female Governor General. It's an honor in itself. I think anyone would be proud to have a mother reach that status in life. She's really climbed the educational and the ladder in terms of her career, and I think she'll be an inspiration for many people out there, as well as myself. I think we'll have a bit more respect for her, but it's the same mom. I mean, she won't change. I don't think this position would change her. I think she'll be the same person she was 10, 15 years ago, because she's always been humble throughout her entire life.
The contributions made by Sir Frederick Ballantyne were also noted by Speaker of the OECS Assembly and President of the SVG Bar Association, Rene Baptiste. Baptiste, who is present at Thursday's swearing-in ceremony, said Sir Frederick played an integral role in culture and arts while she was Minister of Culture.
We have worked well together the 10 years that I have served as Minister of Culture. We've actually used this hall and call it Sir Frederick Hall for the different types of cultural ventures that we've had here, exhibitions, grand tea parties, classical concerts, poetry evenings, that sort of thing that he has opened Government House to, and exhibitions. And I expect that Mrs. Duggan will have her own take, and she will take what she feels is appropriate to continue, but he has made a significant contribution in that particular area and in getting classical orchestras to come here so that the young musicians will have an opportunity to be exposed to classical music of an international standard. And it wasn't just to have the concerts that people come and enjoy and forget about, but at the same time he was able to arrange what we call master classes for those classical musicians in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Now, in other aspects of the arts, he was always interested in poetry, and that is what motivated me to form the Vincentian Association of Artists, Writers and Producers, so that we can continue to help to mold young poets, expose them.
But he said Sir Frederick will be greatly missed from public office, but he has left a legacy with many Vincentians.
exposure that they required. Apart from that, while I was minister and even after I've left the ministry, we continue to have a great friendship through the WPP. Because with his work with the WPP, I was able to, whenever called upon, to give such assistance that is possible. Also the Children's Welfare Fund that was continued from since the days of Sir Rupert John, so that they can continue to help all the day nurseries and preschools around St. Vincent and the Grenadines with the fundraising that was done. And he loved to visit with the children, visit the hospital. He has been what you call an outstanding patriot.
In other news, Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves yesterday issued a call for all Vincentians to be unified in their support for the development of SVG. The Prime Minister was at the time addressing the launch of the Sports Against Crime initiative at the Joseph Chattoyer National Park, which was part of activities held to commemorate Emancipation Day 2019.
Listen to him. We have our independence. There are no legal shackles on us. We can be what we are. If you go and create mayhem with crime and violence, you're choosing a path which want to take your neighbor in a form of enslavement.
Yesterday marked 185 years of emancipation. Meanwhile, Police Commissioner Colin John said the Sports Against Crime initiative is a worthy cause which should get the support of all Vincentians.
Avenues for young people and also not so young people to exert their energy. The old adage that the devil finds work for idle hands to do is still very relevant. And once persons are engaged in sporting activities, it's very unlikely that they would find time to be engaged in criminal activities. Thus, crime would be reduced significantly. It also acts as a crime detection measure.
Women play a crucial role in the agricultural sector, and the members of the Women in Agriculture for Rural Development Program Ward can look forward to a boost in capacity thanks to funding from the Basic Needs Trust Fund, the BNTF. The Women in Agriculture for Rural Development Program was created in 2010 to provide women with the opportunity to create a livelihood, food security, and to bring benefits to their community. The group was involved in the production of seedlings which supply farmers nationwide. Speaking at the launch of Ward's activities, Supervisor of Region 3 in the Ministry of Agriculture, Tyrone John, said 3 years ago the group, which has a good impact on farmers, was hit with what can be described as industrial espionage when someone stole a large amount of seedlings and destroyed others. John said the Caribbean Development Bank funded a project for the group with a grant of $200,000 to improve their greenhouse and other key infrastructure, as well as providing training and technical support to the women in the program.
That CDB likes to see their money is well spent. So I hope that in this case, it will be so. And this group of women can move from strength to strength. Despite the evil acts that may have surrounded them and still surrounding them, at this project we seek to construct a fence around the central area of operation and enhance other areas of the infrastructure and the training. Yes? Because after the ward would have approached BNTF, the way I learned it is that BNTF saw a need for not just infrastructural help, but also for training for the women.
President of the Women in Agriculture for Rural Development Program, Audrey Butler, said despite challenges, the group continues to play its role in the development of the country's agriculture sector. Noting that training for members is taken very seriously, Butler thanked the Ministry of Agriculture and the Basic Needs Trust Fund, the BNTF, for their support.
Even though sometimes we don't hear about ward, we are still working. And we are working very, very, very hard with a lot of challenges. I'm appealing to members to always come to meeting. If you can't come, we have a chat on WhatsApp, so we can come. You have any suggestion, give us a suggestion, and so forth. So we are there, we are going on, and we intend to go further. We extended our arm wider. We gone out to Orange Hill. We have a few ladies in Orange Hill, and even in Chapman's. We have Sister Hoyte, who are interested in the group and the activities of the group. So I'm challenging our ladies, say, if you don't want the food, somebody else out, they want it. So we're gonna move on. And from time to time, you can call us, find out what we're doing, if we need any help and so. And we have Hyacinth, I hope she can join the group. I know you will. So all in all, we have to give God thanks, and we thank BNTF, Mr. Johnson and CDB, and members, the president alone can't do it.
Meanwhile, project manager of the Basic Needs Trust Fund, Dunstan Johnson, appealed to the group members to work hard to make the project and the group sustainable and profitable.
It's incumbent upon each of you to make this project work, to make it not only profitable 1 year and 2 years and 3 years, but sustainable over the life of the lease, which is 10 years and beyond. Knock your heads together, forge an alliance, have a working team, have team membership, who have team spirit, with one accord, singing from the same song sheet. Put in the effort. If you plant yams, you can't get peas. You have to put the effort in, otherwise it will go back to its former state.
The World Health Organization on July 17th this year declared an outbreak of the Ebola virus, and as such, several countries around the world, including some CARICOM member countries, have seized the opportunity to enhance their surveillance at ports of entry and at health facilities. Some of these countries have also updated their Ebola plan and to ensure effective response in the event of an outbreak. Speaking with SVGTV News on the matter, infectious disease specialist Dr. Josie Davy said unlike countries where the Ebola virus outbreak originates, SVG is in a position to provide the necessary care to ensure survival if there was to be an outbreak.
So should we suspect that someone has or may be carrying the Ebola virus, they will be isolated. So as I've said before, if you come from overseas and you exhibit signs and symptoms of Ebola, the fevers, we have nursing and other staff, environmental health staff at all of the ports of entry. So if they notice someone coming off of an airplane and they're obviously sick, they would be isolated and further screenings done. And also their systems, they didn't have much IV fluids and all of these things that we need to keep people alive. They may have to walk 2 days to get to a clinic and get medical attention, and that's one of the reasons why a lot of people died in that epidemic. But in our Caribbean countries, although we know we don't have first world stuff, at least you're able to access care and get fluids, which is necessary for your survival, because persons would die from what we call hypovolemia, meaning that you bleed out or you have diarrheas that are so profuse that you lose a lot of liquid, and that ultimately leads to your death.
Dr. Davies said Ebola has an incubation period between 3 to 21 days and highlights some of the symptoms one can look out for.
The signs and symptoms are not unfamiliar. It starts off like a flu, so the persons will have fever, about 38 degrees Celsius. They would have muscle pain, joint pains. When the vomiting and the diarrhea starts, it's advancing a little bit, and when there's bleeding from all orifices, so a woman might have a heavier period, you might bleed from your eyes, ears, nose, wherever. That's when it's really bad. And you're contagious, you're able to pass the disease once you have any secretions and somebody touches these secretions. So it's highly infectious. That's the problem with Ebola. So maybe a little sniffle from the nose, if that is left on a surface and you pick it up in time, then you can contract the virus as well. It is also sexually transmitted. So it lives in the semen for 2 years, very long period of time it can live in the semen. So persons returning who may have contracted the virus, they can pass it to a sexual partner as well.
The infectious disease specialist said, along with the care provided by local health services, a good immune system can assist in preventing death from the virus.
Well, it all goes back to the good practices that I speak of all of the time. Proper cough etiquette. If somebody's coughing, they cover their mouth so the secretions don't get to others. You use tissue and you discard. You have to ride public transport or any transport for that matter. Wash your hands or carry around your hand sanitizers. All these little things, although they would help to prevent disease when you take care of yourself in that way. Proper nutritional status, so you're able to fight viruses, because I do believe no matter how bad the virus is, no matter how bad the disease is, if it meets your immune system in a good status, you have a better chance of survival and fighting off diseases. Our body does fight for us, but we have to give it the food and the fuel to do so.
There is a wealth of opportunities which young persons in SVG can take advantage of, and another program has been created under the Youth Awareness Movement for National Empowerment to assist these persons seize these opportunities. The Better Mind project is being supported by a group of medical students of the All Saints University. The project manager said information is crucial if young people are to take advantage of opportunities, and Project Better Mind is designed to bring this information to their fingertips.
Better Mind is basically trying to bring this information to the youth of St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Information that will help them create profitable businesses, information that will help them become more entrepreneurial, so that there is less dependence on certain systems that will no longer work in our time today, no longer work for the youths of today as they worked during our parents' time and our grandparents' time, but to use the information that is available to us on the internet to create opportunities right where we are, opportunities right here in St. Vincent, right? And if we're able to do that, then we'll see that the youths become a completely different kind of people. We see that what was inside them begins to come out. Their passions, their skills, their drives.
Minister with responsibilities for labor, Sabota Caesar, said the program is an excellent one which he believes will help to create a best practice in the region. He said along with the opportunities for entrepreneurship, the program will also help to guide young people seeking educational opportunities.
And I was advised that some of the programs will be done online, and they would not only be addressing the issue of entrepreneurship for persons who have returned to St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but they also will be providing a list of the scholarships which are made available each year for persons who study abroad. They have a list, and they will be going out into communities to speak and to encourage young persons to apply for these scholarships, and to also encourage them not only to apply, but to encourage them to study areas which are needed in the Caribbean.
Minister Caesar said persons from the African continent have played a key role in the development of SVG, and that it is his hope that through the program, a greater link between SVG and Africa can be created.
Many persons do not take the time out to show an appreciation to many of the persons who came to our shores from Africa and worked among us and helped to develop our body politic. And I go as far back as King Jaja of Opobo, who did significant work in our country. And I am certain that YAMNEP, having such strong links in St. Vincent and the Grenadines now, and will forge links in Nigeria, would definitely create a pathway for the people of the Opobo state in Nigeria to come to St. Vincent and the Grenadines and to explore the history and the path and to traverse a lot of the territory that King Jaja of Opobo would have traversed in his time.
Children throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines will have the opportunity to build on their sporting and entrepreneurial skills through their participation in the Luke's Kids 2019 summer program that will run from August 5th to the 23rd at the clubhouse at Cane Garden. The theme for this year's summer program, We Have a Nation to Build, is in commemoration of SVG's 40th independence anniversary, which will be observed on October 27th. Founder Luke Brown said there is a very high demand for the summer program, and his idea is to occupy the youth in meaningful activities during their school break.
I think that it is well ventilated now that summer programs are important. They are in demand by 85% of our households in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The reason for this demand is very simple. They have more persons working, more parents and guardians in the workforce. There is an increase in prevalence of single-parent homes and so on. So there is the need for children to be supervised during the summer vacation, and we step in to fill that void. You know, and the children who participate in these kinds of activities are more likely to become wholesome adults, less likely to become teenage parents, less likely to, you know, use illegal drugs, and, you know, less likely to become persons who are socially awkward, so to speak, because of a lot of what they learn in a summer program. And of course they gain general knowledge on various subjects and topics. This year we have decided that the theme for the summer program, because we'd like to pitch it with something that is relevant. Last year we spoke about Nelson Mandela. It was his centenary. This year we celebrated 40 years of independence, and we also launching a program called Sports Against Crime. In fact, that was launched in earnest yesterday at Rabacop. So we believe that we bring these elements together and we basically hammer it together into a program.
Partners and supporters of the Luke Kids Club Summer Program 2019 said they are happy to support the program and encourage the participants to take what they will be taught during the two-week program seriously.
We at Metrocin General Insurance Company are quite happy to be associated with Luke's Kids Club Summer Program. We take pride in our nation's youth, and we see this as a platform to help to develop our young people. Mr. Brown, we must commend you for your vision and his leadership, and we hope that this performance will grow from strength to strength.
And we at Flow, we are delighted again to be part of this program and to be sponsoring the event. The way we see it though is that this is, I think I didn't know your team, but in our view this is part of nation building, and our business, we are really happy to invest in nation building. Reason being, as we all know, it helps create a sustainable society, and investing in the youths and the children in a positive way, you know, it builds the nation to the future. And as you know, if our population cannot be successful, if they're not thriving, even our business will not be successful for the long term. So
I look at the representatives right now of both Flow and Metrocent, and those are testament to how far our young people can go and grow. So I'm hoping that the volunteers who are gathered here today, the young people who will participate in this program, will take up the opportunity to ensure they embrace as much as they can and give wholeheartedly to the program.